that we doing this shit from a different angle, but we working for the same goal. And he ain't supposed to listen to me because I'm not his elder directly. I'm what you call a proxy elder from across the tracks. So I got to go talk to somebody in his family tree, in his clan. And once I talk to somebody in his clan that's of significance, then they will have to come and talk to him with me in order for me and him to resolve whatever matter or confusion there is there. So you can see how we resolve matters from the land, by the people from the land, while they own the land, and they don't see eye to eye on the matter. But Big Mama showed me what she was having him do and why she needed it done this way. So now I have to go back and then tie these loose ends up, and that should be the what you call the coup de grace, the grand finale. Cause we already at Big Mama house. We just trying to unlock the motherfucking front door without tearing up nothing going in there. Cause we got much respect for Big Mama house. And Big Mama house is the Vice Lord house. And the Vice Lord house is black and gold, and that's the gold and the coal. And the coal is the carbon, and the gold is the platinum group metal, and I am the platinum back gorilla. So when we put this shit together, we'll be able to show y'all that um we can find a way. If we work together, we can find a way to overcome this bullshit as a collective. But as long as we bickering back and forth, all we gonna be doing is giving the show to the motherfuckers and enemy that's laughing at us. So I don't want to get them motherfuckers no show. And that's why I'm willing to talk to the Canaan land Moors, cause I be iffy about Moors um if they not Taj, if they not C. Freeman Hill, Hakeem Bey, Charles Mosley Bey, I be iffy about them because of the dirty Moors. But I'm not anti-Moor, but I am anti-dirty Moor. And all of the Moors know that there are dirty Moors. That's not a secret, right? And if they know there's dirty Moors, then they shouldn't be offended because I'm not a Moor that I call out the dirty Moors for being some rotten motherfuckers that they are. They just need to clean house. So Angel Bay, that's his job. That's not my job, right? I just have to tell the people where we was infiltrated at, and we was infiltrated by Albert Pike, who portrayed himself as motherfucking George Washington, Adam Weishaupt, in order to deceive the people with morals and dogma at the 32-degree Scottish Rite Freemason level, coming in off of a conquistadors, um, Etruscan Moor in cloak and concealed. And the image that we see is not even the real image of the real individual, whether it's the Adam Weishaupt, the George Washington, or the motherfucking Albert Pike. Those are all imposters that's put out as a cat's paw in order to conceal and cover the dirty players behind the scenes. They use pale faces to block institutions to keep us from finding out what they was doing. And if we can't find out what they doing, we don't know what course of action to take to resolve the matter. But now that we know what they was doing, what they have done, and what they still was trying to do, and we knew how to overcome those obstacles, this shit is a wrap. So you can go to your George Washington Masonic Memorial and you can see the phases of all of the dirty Moors who signed the contracts with Europe, with England, France, and Britain in order to subjugate the organic people from this land. All of their phases is there because they said if they surrender their phases and we surrender our feathers and sandals, that we wouldn't know us from them at the end of the 200 years. We disagreed and we was right. They ain't us and we ain't them. They look like us, but they ain't us. They don't love like us. They don't fight like us. They don't do nothing like us. Everything they do is weaponized against us. So I have to talk to anybody who willing to resolve this ugly ass matter we face with. Even if they come in hostile, I still have to endure the hostility in order to try to draw out a cognizant conversation with them in order to solve the problem. The key order of business right now is Big Mama House. That's that black and gold shit. That shit got to be straightened out, and it's gonna get straightened out Monday, right? So once that gets straightened out Monday, and they find out that the treaty that was signed 50 years ago between Lord Stones and disciples, and that we was all infiltrated by motherfucking dirty players, and now we reclaiming what we got by connecting with the ones that Big Mama seeing. Big Mama make a motherfucker go upside your head in order to get you right, and then she'll make that motherfucker turn around and be. So Instagram is starting to give me some shit. So we're gonna wrap this one up, y'all, but from there. All right. Peace out, y'all. Share the video, get the information out to the public. So the show on Young Elder is Tracking the Devil. We're gonna be going over who Enlil is and why they black devils. He had to show himself before he left, and he did, and I'm gonna show it to y'all. These motherfuckers think I don't be knowing what I be talking about, but they don't never confront these motherfucking receipts I be dropping. So, since they don't like to address the receipts, they just like to use a bunch of gossip and rhetoric. Oh, that nigga don't know what he talking about. He lying over there. He throwing dirt on the Moors. No, I'm not. I'm throwing dirt on dirty Moors because they already dirty, motherfuckers. The good Moors know what I'm doing. The dirty Moors is mad. All you got to do is watch them. See, they thought that they was going to challenge us to this game and we was going to lose. We not going to lose because we know who we be. You don't believe me? You can ask DMX. They don't know who we be, but we know who we be. Every time, they don't ever deal with the receipts. I even give them receipts that they can refute, and they so scared of the receipt that they won't even examine it. And that's how you know when you got them motherfuckers with their back against the wall and their dick is in the dirt. The righteous Moors is against the dirty Moors. They know what I'm talking about. They'll tell you look, you can go sit into a Moor Science temple, and the good Moors is going to pull you to the side and say, you know, you got to watch out for them dirty Moors. The good Moors going to tell you. They're going to say, and you got to watch this one because he be doing this, and you got to watch that one because he be doing that. The good Moors is going to put you up on who the dirty Moors is. And here go the kicker. All of the dirty Moors that got positions of power and abused it, you was the dumbest motherfuckers in the world because you don't think that the grand governing body know who you motherfuckers is. All of the good Moors know what I'm talking about. The grand governing body know who them dirty motherfuckers is. Because they got all of the files from all of the people's complaints on file at the motherfucking grand governing body in their records. They know who y'all. They know who did the dirt. They know who sold the Morris Science Temple out to the United States Corporation. That's why I say you American citizen on your nationality card, but you ain't seen that yet. Yep. So we going to family banks. We getting away from I had to answer my door. Yep, come on. Get downstairs. What's going on with your nephew? Look good. Yeah, tell him I'll be down there waiting on man too. Excuse me, I had to let my little nephew in. He had to go get his hair cut downstairs where I need to be going next. He looks a little savage. I don't mind looking a little savage. Yeah, so if anybody got any questions, throw that mug in the comment section and I'm gonna try to answer this. Yeah, so we're getting into the family banks so that we can overthrow the central banking system that left all of the families destitute. The central banks ties back to the Federal Reserve and the IRS, and the checks that you give them in the form of taxes goes to your World Bank and International Monetary Fund. The national debt is the money that they owed us that they said we owed them. So the national debt gonna become the national debit to rebuild the infrastructure. So it's all playing out. We just right now we just some observers watching this shit slow ass build and fall, and that's some hard shit. Yeah, ask your question again, sweetie. I didn't see it. I was looking for some questions. Tano Lady L, you can ask your question again. Hey, this like we be having little family reunions in the comment section. We be seeing people we ain't talked to in a minute. Be what's up? What's going on? They continuing this like it's business as usual because we acting like business as usual. The great solar flare, which is supposed to take out the grid, have anything to do with free? Well, everything right now is all consistent. Raven Rock is, thank you, Dr. Ham. Raven Rock is where the continuity of government is taking place under the FEMA protocols. And there is where all of the transfers of power, keys to the wealth, all of this stuff is taking place over there. And they should be about done by now because what I'm seeing play out in the mainstream is like 2 weeks ago, I think it was, a week ago, Trump lawyer presented a case to the Senate about the election fraud and played videos of prior Democrats talking about stolen elections. So they about to dig into that shit in a minute. If NASA launch failed, those are just messages. So what you do is you look up the name of the failed launch, you look up the code name for it and translate that shit. Creature from Jekyll Island is when they created the central bank. Yep. All that shit. The Emerald Tablets, we was going to go over some of that tonight because Thoth warned us about something called the Dark Brothers, who look like us, but they ain't us. Ain't that something that it's in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth? Somebody look like us, but it ain't us? Look, paperwork is the paper chain. We got to use our oral tradition until we overthrow their system. Right? And once we overthrow their system, then we can use our own paperwork. The Black Hand was, I already went over that, but the Black Hand was them niggas that was leading the KKK. Right. Well, I'm not finna break the whole Emerald Tablets down tonight. I'm just gonna show a couple of verses where Tahuti talks about the the Dark Brothers, and that he got rid of them once, but they let him back in using the conjure. And he's talking about when Enlil called that dragon bitch from the alternate mirrorverse and brought her over here to use her mitochondria to usurp the throne of the matriarchs. Well, we caught on to that shit. So, but anyway, when they conjured them motherfuckers over here, they turned everything upside down and backwards in information. So the information is upside down and backwards on purpose in order to confuse the minds of the people that's watching. Mm-hmm. Crooked man walking on the land. Somebody say it's lightning. Yep. So the central banking system is all created upon a constructed fraud. The Three Kings is in the continuity of government, right? They have to be there to make sure that all of the power is secured before they leave, right? Look, your personal decisions, I set myself up where I don't have no bills, so for me to tell you whether to pay your bills or not, that's on you. Until we in power, we ain't in power. What's the delay in big picture being revealed? Y'all not paying attention? I see y'all. I see y'all. Yeah, so and when we get in power, it's not going to be no secret. These motherfuckers is in power. They kept they motherfucking shit a secret. They hid in the background and made other people take the fall for them. We don't hide in the background. So when we get in power, it ain't going to be no mistake about it. Yep, they are definitely doing the mortgage thing, offering up those no interest mortgages because they trying to get you to contract. Don't contract with these motherfuckers and watch they shit fall. All of them incentives they giving you is to keep them in power just a little while longer. So no interest loans, low interest, all that's fraud. They tricking you. They tricking us into going in there getting these no interest mortgages, not knowing that if we don't go and support their system and drag this son of a bitch down, that we won't need to get a mortgage. We already got shit. Yeah, what's up, Sirius Ray? Kino the Peacock, I see you, God. Look, they not going to allow the rules to the game. First of all, is what we missing. Because if you understand the rules to the game, you understand what's taking so long. We have to be at critical mass of self-awareness. I mean, this is why they be talking about woke, the woke culture. What the fuck is the woke culture? Right? Who is this? What is they pushing this so-called woke agenda? What's that shit? Right? Because what they telling you, and you ain't paying attention, that if it's enough people that's woke, meaning aware, meaning they know who they is, they 5/5 realize they no longer 3/5 compromise, they can't be imbeciles in law, then they don't have any jurisdiction. So they warning everybody about the motherfucking woke culture. The motherfuckers that's waking up is us. The return of the motherfucking ancient ones, the motherfuckers that came back from eons gone by, and we had to sit and watch while this motherfucking shit played out until we seen the time to seize the power. And as they say, seize the time is now. The time is now to seize the power. And the only way we all got to get out of their fraudulent position in order to let the rightful motherfuckers speak for what's going on. So when I get done being right, and when we get done getting the attention of the people, our people, we don't need the enemy attention. We don't need none of them niggas that's from Africa. We don't got no personal gripe with them unless they came in with the enemy doing the enemy bid. We don't got no problem with the motherfuckers from the Middle East, from the Far East. Right now, this is family business. This is about the family unifying together to get these motherfucking, get our shit.
We know who the leadership is. All we got to do is use the oral tradition, right? So we're going to fuck their algorithms up to let them know that we putting it in the public domain, right? So you slander somebody. This is a COINTELPRO prime motherfucking tool of operation. The slander lays the foundation for them to do the dirt to the righteous, were uncontested by the masses. Larry ain't our savior, we his. We got to get Larry. Why we got to get Larry? Because Larry represents each and every one of us. He represents Angel Bay. He represents Big Tookie. He represents Asada Shakur. That's why. He represents you. He represents me. The fact that we can focus our attention on one motherfucking leadership on the land from us that we know is ours, right? And we know it's ours because of the way that the government treat him. They ain't treating theirs like that. They treat ours like that. Ain't got no they create a motherfucking criminal enterprise in order to put them in and then accuse them of it. But we so busy following what they say is the news, the mainstream, that we just go along to get along bootlicking ass niggas. You know? So long as they know that all they got to do is put on the news that you's a criminal and you already convicted, then they just put that shit on the news and be done with your dumb ass. And this is why nobody won't step up in our community to do nothing to help none of us. When a motherfucker get on top, he don't want to come back and help a bunch of rotten ass motherfuckers that pulled and tugged on him like crabs in a bucket all the way to the top. That's not the way this shit go. So I got the knocks from Malachi for the Nuwabians. So if y'all know any Nuwabians, make sure y'all tag them in this video, because Malachi say when he get back, he finna set the record straight among those who did the dirt in the community, because those were the actual infiltrators in the Nuwabian nation. He knew who they was the whole time they was there, but he had to leave them there in order for us to get to the point where we can see how they work. So when he gonna send y'all a message through the young elder. For y'all who know who young elder is, he gonna send the family message. You probably won't get the message, because that's who the message is gonna come through, from Malachi. So I don't know if it's gonna be for the public or just for the family that's close over there where he at, but he gonna give young elder a message to give him. I don't know young elder, never met him. I heard him a couple times on YouTube, but that's what the message is for the Nuwabians, right? Yep, the young elder on YouTube. Malachi sending Nuwabians a message through young elder, right? And I don't know if it's going to be a public message or a private family message, but young elder going to have a message for the Nuwabians, and it's going to be fresh. So tomorrow, we're going to get into the cyber parade in the hashtag Free Larry Hoover. It's going to be more than one hashtag opportunity on the Free Larry Hoover thing. Look for the one with the most posts under it and use that one. But use all of them if you have to. It don't even matter, because they say free Larry Hoover, right? So we all standing on this shit. This ain't for the motherfuckers who came on slave ships, who don't feel like that they got no stake in what's going on over here. We just ask that they respectfully stay out the way so they don't get stepped on in the process of the come up. Because we don't want no innocent motherfuckers. It's the worst thing you could do is make the innocent pay for the dirty guilty. Right? So you can start now if you want to, sweetie. We can start whenever y'all get ready, but we just don't stop. Every time you do a post tomorrow, hashtag Free Larry Hoover till we bust the algorithm, hit them some bitches right in their pockets, because they don't like nobody fucking with their money. And Larry Hoover is not tied to any fundraisers, right? Yep. I've been getting the word that it's on the TikTok. I don't know what Twitter doing with it yet. But we just got to go whatever motherfucking social media you get on, spread the word. Cause we gonna hijack they motherfucking social media. We only trying to get the message to us. Cause we don't care about nobody that's sitting up in the tent on our property. Right? So we cleaning house. So we don't care about them. We only care about us. We care about how many of us is paying attention. How many of us we can get the attention of. Because it's our shit. If it ain't their shit, they don't, we don't have no problem with dealing with them later. But for right now, we need to get the message to us. Organic motherfucker. Alright. So if Brother Umar Johnson want to be unapologetically African, we don't mind him he can be as African as he like to be. But while these organic motherfuckers from this land is on the move, stay your motherfucking unapologetically African ass out of the way before you need to apologize. This ain't none of his business. This don't have nothing to do with him. If he was a real Pan-Africanist and a real Garveyite, like he say, he would understand what a confraternity is, and he wouldn't be in our business trying to tell us that we came on a goddamn ship packed like a sardine, the most dumbest shit a motherfucker could possibly come up with, and believe, and talk about he's educated. Talk about he's got a scientific mind, and that he can't be manipulated by the white man. Well, the white man got you thinking you came on a ship. You can continue to believe whatever you want to believe, just stay the fuck out the way of the organic people of the land. That's all we asking. We don't care how many of you niggas want to be unapologetically African and Afrocentric, right? We don't have no problem with none of that shit, because we was already doing business, trade, and intermarrying across the water before we both got sacked on both sides of the water, if y'all not paying attention, right? But this ain't got nothing to do with that. Right now, this got something to do with the organic people of the land, Big Mama boys, cleaning Big Mama house up, and letting the rest of us know what's going on across the land. We finna hit these motherfuckers in their pockets, because we gonna make them motherfuckers scream. Right? So, just let it be known. Right? We don't care if you unapologetically African or if Afrocentric, I'm a Pan-Africanist, Garveyite too, but I ain't from Africa. Right? Because the Africans all told me, all of the Pan-Africans of knowledge, of learning, told me we was already here. Y'all already at home. What the fuck is you talking about? Right? Go back and read the indigenous books, they'll tell you. So they came up with all these color codes, skin colors, paper bag clubs, right? They separated us by skin color, the light ones versus the dark ones, and the Willie Lynchism, all that bullshit. And y'all niggas is still falling for it. I don't got nothing to do with none of that shit. It got nothing to do with me. The only thing got something to do with me is Big Mama told me to tell y'all who the chiefs of the land is and let y'all call them motherfuckers to the forefront. Because when y'all call them to the forefront, they got to tell you what the fuck is going on the land, who responsible for the dirt being done, and what we gonna do to clean this shit up. That's all I care about. I don't care if your ass came from Mars, Nibiru, Pluto. I don't care if you Ashtar Command, Pleiadian, Arcturian. I don't care if you a Wookiee. I don't give a fuck if you Jabba the Hutt. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you don't stop us from doing Big Mama job, what she sent us to do, I wouldn't give a fuck. Just stay out the way and it's all over. Ain't nobody gonna be left behind. Cause she saying no guys and no little yous. You don't treat people the way they treat you. Cause if you treat people the way they treat you, you gonna be a tyrant. Goddamn right we ain't black. Right? Black don't have nothing to do with skin tone. Right? They called us blacks because they attacked us. It's a chess term. And they called themselves white because they was the attacker. Right? And we thinking it means skin color. You know, I done seen some dark motherfuckers. My boy Taz told me on Taz TV. He say, man, show me a black motherfucker. I found purple motherfuckers, navy blue motherfuckers, hot chocolate motherfuckers. I never found a true black motherfucker. Even when they dark as hell, they got some kind of tint that let you know they ain't black. Some of them got blue tint, some of them got green tint, some of the motherfuckers got purple tint, but don't none of them motherfuckers look like Coke. None of them don't look like, even the darkest one look like dark chocolate, like chocolate with no milk, right? So, the crazy thing is, I mean, shit, melanin itself is not even black. Melanin is a dark chocolate brown, darker than chocolate, like coffee, like black coffee. If you put it in the sun, you're going to get a brown tint, right? So, white represent death the whole time. All that shit represent death in the sense that it's a mental death, because the mental death allows you to take a half a concept and give it a whole false identity, which causes miscalculation. And as long as you generate the miscalculation, then somebody can use the miscalculation to mislead. And this is where the problem come in, because we too quick to jump on top of some shit, some bandwagon shit, and don't want to ask nothing because we don't want nobody asking us nothing. I got informed because I wanted to be able to inform. I went and informed myself so I knew what the fuck I was seeing, even if it didn't sound right to nobody around me. But I had to go and inform myself as to what they was doing so I can inform y'all of how to undo it. Now we gonna kick them in the pockets. And so this is the part of the game where you get to see them buckle. So a couple of updates for y'all. As of Friday, the corporation that was defunct has no more finances. So they head into the close of business today to come up with some money that they didn't ever come up with. So on the Pluto return, which is tomorrow, which is George Washington's birthday, who is the motherfucker who issued the challenge to the Moors and the indigenous to tell us who we wasn't and who they were, right? All of this shit, my mama used to tell me all my life, what goes around comes around. All of this shit that went around is on its way back around, and it comes through a Pluto return. That's some heavy shit, right? So we got the 2/22/2022 portal. We got the Pluto return on George Washington's birthday. George Washington issued a challenge to the Moors and the indigenous because they thought we was the same, but we ain't. And when they found out now that we ain't the same and that I can tell the difference between us and them wherever they meet. And when they send they motherfucking, because Elijah said the last trick the devil gonna do is to just freely offer you his woman. But he ain't never tell you his woman was gonna smell like a half a cow. Right? Because our women believe in yoni care. Like, that's like a big thing, because the yoni is the portal of life, and the portal of life is a sacred place. And the desecration of the sacred place comes in the form of mastectomies and hysterectomies. So if we understood that, by watching how our people move, watch how they move, we reverence the womb and they despise it. That doesn't make sense. How do you despise the womb when you come from one? But they don't have that respect for the womb. They got a greater respect for the phallus. You can't grow in the phallus for 9 months. It's just not going to happen. Right? So we can push this patriarchal bullshit agenda, or we can go back to us. I vote for go back to us. So I tell y'all the secret. The secret is, them niggas that don't want to be black don't have to be black. You know, because all of us wasn't intended to be in the war. All of us wasn't part of the war. You gotta remember, everybody didn't sign treaties with these motherfuckers. Some of us ain't never stopped fighting. That's why they got blowed up shit all over this bitch, flooded out cities all over this bitch, castles that's abandoned all over this bitch, cause all the motherfuckers that lived in the castles went to fighting Seminole Wars. All the motherfuckers lived in the castle went to fighting Seminole Wars. Ain't nobody staying in Big Mama house if Big Mama ain't safe to come home. That's just the way it is. We ain't letting nobody stay in there, and y'all ain't either. Right? So some of them, they turned into prisons. Right? Them the ones that they didn't know what to do with. They turned them into prisons. Stinking ass motherfuckers. But I'm making shit up. When you can go look at this shit. You can go look in the Smithsonian, and they got all of the artifacts to tell you that we was over here the whole time. Right? That this has always been the great melding pot. That's not a Eurocentric terminology applied to the land. That's their understanding of the land before they ever came here. Right? Then also, this motherfucker over here didn't believe in, if you had a voice, unless you proved yourself to be a liar, your voice had legitimacy until we can analyze what you saying. We didn't just take your word for it, but we didn't discount what you said. We went and used it as a foundational tool to do a research to determine if we need to pay attention to what the fuck you saying. Because you might be telling us exactly how to get out of the problem, but we so used to now listening to the other man that we don't give a fuck what's going on with the brother man. Right? So, in academia, they was calling us Negroes, the coloreds, the African Americans, and all that shit. But in the hood, we was greeting each other. What's happening, brother? What's going on, blood? Wait a minute. Brothers. That's what Stone's vice lords call each other. Blood. That's what them bloods in LA call each other. Wait a minute. We've been knowing who we was the whole time and been calling ourselves who we were without even knowing we was identifying ourselves to one another in the presence of everybody, and they made fun of us and called it blaxploitation. Pay attention to the exaggeration, because the exaggeration is the thing that says pay attention. And if you pay attention to the exaggeration, you'll find a whole revelation of a nation that's been percolating under the bottom the whole time. Talking in ghetto code, did it eat that, as motherfucking Gil Scott would say. Right? So, the parents got a language. The children got a language. They don't always speak the same language, but the children normally know what the parents is talking about. Right?
Patriarchal.
Everywhere where the women had power, they put me in there.
Mm.
That
And
was
I know you
that's
go
what.
over this question a lot. You answer this a lot. Why is the music industry how it is today? But if you want to drop it for, you can.
Go ahead with the rest of it. It's drugs. What?
Oh, drugs, killing, etc. Oh, it ain't showing you the whole questions?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
So the music industry is how it is today because it was created by the same people that was overthrowing our system, that was occupying our land. When you go back, it's a movie on YouTube about the origins of Hollywood. You'll see the double head Scottish Rite flag being marched down Hollywood streets when it was a dirt road,
Word.
because they the ones who created Hollywood. Hollywood is a uh, mass mind control mechanism.
For sure. The holly tree is like that's what they use for wands. So they just
Magic
cast the
wand.
spells. They casting the spells all day.
Mm-hmm. that big old castle that used to be Disney, that was what we called the big house. That shit wasn't built in no 1900s. Nobody used that construction style in the 1900s.
It's like
that's what we call it in modern times, old Gothic construction. They don't use that. They haven't used that construction style at least since the 1000 AD mark. So the castle of Disneyland had to be there at the soonest it could have been built is around the year 1000 AD. So it's at least 1,000 years old. We all left the big house to come fight the Seminole Wars. That's why it was empty when they got there.
Wow.
Most of us don't know. I did a whole video showing the castles on the land. Most of them they turned into prisons.
Because they already had the walls.
Yep. They put the bars up later.
Wow.
They put the bar. They used to be living quarters. Right. And
the live will be saved. The live will be saved.
So it goes back to they burned our cities, they flooded cities out, they sunk cities under lakes. All that's just to keep us from knowing who the fuck we is and asserting our rights to the land and nullifying the unum sanctum decree.
Penitentiary. Yeah, that etymology, breaking down words is crazy. Once I got tapped into that, you stop calling yourself smart. Stop calling, you know what I'm saying? It's like they really flipping everything. They really flipping everything. Got us out here casting spells on ourselves. This one just says they discontinued the show because they found the information on Bobby Hemmett speaking on Lovecraft.
That's totally possible because Lovecraft and American Gods got a lot of information in it. And Bobby Hemmett wasn't no slouch. He was putting all of the pieces together. When he got a clip.
And with American Gods, you saw they kicked Buddy off. Orlando, they kicked him off. And started dropping too
That's
much.
because of the character that he played. That's the worst motherfucker. That's the nigga that's gonna be telling y'all how to get y'all shit back. They didn't want that character portrayed from that level of self-control, clear, cognizant thought, and deliver such a potent message in media. It's a movie with Cicely Tyson and I think Robin Givens. Robin Givens tell her that she just don't want to be black, so she try to claim she Indian.
I know which movie you're talking about.
She ad-libbed her response.
She ad-libbed it?
Yep. That was spontaneous. That wasn't in the original script. She stood up and she said, "Look at me. My father was full-blooded Iroquois." Right? And then she went to give another family's message. She also ad-libbed the tail end of that family reunion movie done by Tyler Perry. You got to listen to it. That's a bad motherfucker. I got to
go back and watch it. I got to go. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, too, she looks just like, my mom looks just like Cicely Tyson.
Cicely Tyson was a Iroquois high priestess.
Now, we're at Iroquois. That's like Northeast, right?
Well, it's hard to say now because everybody went to fight in the Seminole Wars. So we all got mixed up. That's why they called us Seminoles, because all of the tribes was mixed down there. You got motherfuckers from the Tonga Islands, from the Polynesian Islands, from Venezuela, from Brazil, all the way from Canada, from Alaska, the Inuits, all sending people to fight the Seminole Wars. We had so much concentrated force in Florida. When they did the Louisiana Purchase, Lewis and Clark Expedition declared the land as being abandoned. That's what made them institute squatters' rights under the Protectorate Agreement in order to occupy the land until the rightful heirs reclaimed it. That's what they did. That's what all that whole.
squatters.
That's what the whole story is about, Lois and Clark.
Damn.
Which is also the story of Superman and Lois, because his name is Clark Kent.
Lois Lane.
Lois and Clark.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now look, Lois is the lane. That's the road, the path. Clark is the Kent. Kent is the bank. Right? The bank name is actually Old Kent Bank. But he ain't the rightful heir because he's not one of the Earthborn. Go back and review the story again. It got a different meaning.
That's wild.
I love me some Chief Warhorse. That
I was
sister
about to say Chief Warhorse is that guy.
Yeah, her. She ain't for no games.
Oh, you know who I'm thinking about? Nothing. Go ahead. I know you're talking about though.
Yeah, she got the
details in.
Right, because she started telling you about the paper genocide with the with the Trail of Tears and the Dawes Road Indians that they used to replace us on the reservations.
Okay, can you see this one? Nah, you probably can't. I'm gonna read it to you.
What about when the solar flares happens?
Won't everything be destroyed anyways? What's the point in saving the system?
Look, everything not gonna be destroyed.
The
solar flares is activating what was considered as junk DNA. The data was blocked out by a light lock. As we reclaim Earth, the light lock breaks free to allow the higher UVB rays to come in and activate the junk DNA, which will restore. Some of us will get total recall. I don't have total recall yet, but I got recall like a motherfucker. It's just not total recall.
That's wild. Okay, so this was him and Dr. G's last line. Okay,
I'm gonna tell y'all who is breaking down the solar rays. And y'all can tag him in the video. Is Kalai. Brother Kalai is the one who is explaining the UVB rays. I got a video on YouTube where he go through all of that, and then I show him the mysticism from ancient Kemet that ties to what he's talking about. Right. So, to find more about the UVB rays, right? Kalai is the right. That's what Big Mama got him doing.
You know what's crazy about that? I was on the live where you was just going off, and you was like, Big Mama told me I need to get in contact with somebody named Kalai. And I was like, I was already watching Kalai's page, so I was like, let me send him this guy. Like, it's just
it was Amun Ra. And everybody started tagging him, and he ain't know what was going on. Right.
Yeah,
but it took a minute for him to observe where I was coming from before he would communicate back. Right. But once we talked
in the 5D.
Yeah. So once he seen where I was coming from, then he was like, "Oh, I need to talk to this brother." And then Uncle Shiz hooked it up where we could have a conversation, because a lot of people was trying to, that internet motherfucking social media fake beef shit. When motherfucker say he beefing with you, and then he tell you beefing with him, and y'all, neither one of y'all don't know it. I didn't know we were supposed to be beefing. So the only way that I could, right. So the best thing to do as a man is have a conversation with another man to find out if y'all really beefing. And when we had the conversation, he's, went through the sun, melanin connection with the UVBs and all of this. the solar flares, the effect on the earth. And I got a video from a couple years ago where I'm talking about all of the Egyptian description of everything he was talking about. And so when he got done, I say, if you don't mind, I'd like to go over what you were saying and show him how it ties into the metaphysics of Egypt. So then I went over it, and then we had started having a conversation. But that's where we was chopping the game up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So y'all follow that brother Kalai, because he on point with the UVB rays and whatnot. He that's what he do.
And he really about it though too. He be walking up on police officers like he ain't got no fear in his heart.
No, look. Only reason I don't do that because I'm a little bit more extreme than he is by nature.
Mm-hmm.
If I walk up on them motherfuckers, it's not gonna turn out as smooth. We gonna have a whole different conversation, and they not gonna like it, and I'm not gonna give a fuck, which is gonna make the situation worse.
Mm-hmm.
His self-control level is to the point where he can go confront them like that and talk to them like that. My self-control level is if I want to stay away from the motherfuckers before I give it to them.
That's because you're a Scorpio, fam. That's how we get. We don't show no emotion because if we do, it's about to go the fuck up.
Yeah.
We nonchalant because if the emotions do come to the top, it's a wrap for you.
They asked about the Joe Biden Bible at the swearing
Inauguration, whatever.
Yeah, that was actually not a Bible, but a family grimoire.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been a grimoire / Bible, but it's a family grimoire. So whatever family his allegiance is to, that's whose book that was.
Mm. Yeah, that's what they were saying was a family Bible, but make that connection with the grimoire. Let's keep that one out of here. All right, so Paige again. She said Rod and Taj need to do another live because Taj agrees with you, Rod, but he still told them to address the living man or woman because they can rebut an oral declaration despite us needing to go back to it. Okay, so they can rebut just us orally declaring whatever we want to declare, despite us needing to go back to our oral traditions.
Okay. Well, we got to get Taj a chance to finish digesting the Indigenous Rights Act, because once he do, they surrendered. They tapped out. That's the note on the table that the hooker leaves saying, or that you leave the hooker when you say, here's $20. Right. So they're like, here go your shit back. We leaving. Good knowing you. It was nice occupying your territory. Soon as y'all figure out who y'all is, y'all already back in charge. So the Indigenous Rights Act. So he's still going over that information that's been presented to him on the new. He got to have a chance to digest it in order to finish giving the instructions. Right. And when he's talking about the flesh and blood living man that you need to talk to, you can't talk to that motherfucker because he hiding. He hiding. He don't want to be seen. He hiding. So you can't address him. I can't walk up to that motherfucker and put his ass on notice in his face, like what she's talking about, right? Because he's going to hide. And he's going to put a whole bunch of people in front of him as decoys. And this is why we had to go about it by exercising the blood rights and the hereditary rights to reclaim the land and restore the land. Right. So when they left us the note, yeah, it was nice fucking over y'all, but y'all probably didn't know that all of these things belong to you already. We just telling you right here because we on our way out the door. That's what the Indigenous Rights Acts are. It's the cessation or the secession or the ceding of the position by the imposters and the invaders to the rightful jurisdiction. So now we just have to exercise our oral traditional jurisdiction. Right. But as he goes over the paperwork, you will see that his instructions will start to be more specific. And then he gonna get to the point where he gonna say, this the nigga right here you need to be confronting. And whoever that nigga is probably got on the ship some goddamn wearing dip.
Got on up out of here. Yep.
But Paige Flowers, she on top of it. She know exactly what I'm talking about. And she done been at war with the Dirty Moors too. So
Oh, word.
yeah. So and she got audio of the motherfucker telling her about the bodies they buried.
What?
Man, look here. Them sisters, when they get the information and act on it, it ain't the same as me acting on it. I'm just gonna point you to them. They gonna make them motherfuckers confess.
Mm-hmm. It's a whole
You know?
different breed.
Yeah. And she ain't for no games.
Nah,
She
I
bought
caught
her.
y'all live y'all did together.
Yeah, she bought her business. When she ain't when we first did that live, the first live we did together,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't know what I was talking about. You know what she did? She went behind me to double check.
Mm-hmm.
And she just flat out came back up and she's like, look, I might not agree with everything the brother say, but this part right here, he knew exactly what he talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then she go back because this is this and this is this and this happened and this happened and these motherfuckers did this and these motherfuckers did that and I see it right here just like you see it. She right?
Mm-hmm.
So ain't nobody supposed to be 100% right. That's why we read the error when we understand in wisdom.
Right.
Right? Because you're gonna make errors. So the error in the law of efficiency applied is telling you something on a Freudian slip.
Right.
Right. And that's how you see beyond what's on the surface.
Mm.
Like, let's say it's 10 of us outside in the front porch and we all talking about dogs. Right? All of a sudden one of us in the middle of talking about a dog say we need to duck the shotgun. Nigga, look for this nigga coming with the shotgun. Because we probably gonna hear the dogs bark right before he show itself. The Freudian slip just told us he was coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's an example of how it worked. We weren't talking about shotguns, we was talking about dogs. But the Freudian slip was worrying about the shotgun. It could have been a dog named Shotgun, but he didn't make that clear to everybody in the circle.
Right.
Right? So now we looking for the shotgun. Lo and behold, here come a motherfucker coming through the motherfucking between the houses with a shotgun. And now we all ready because we read the error as a message.
Right.
What's this? What part does the Galactic Council play in?
Our liberation.
If we don't do our part, they ain't gonna play no part.
Get back. Get back. Get back.
Right? But if we do our part, they gonna make sure that it's enforced from a galactic perspective.
Right. How bad, famo? This we let the cat out the back door. This man and caught a rat and broke his neck. I gotta take him out. This little guy gone.
The cat caught a rat.
Hey, that must be some type of sign, huh?
Yeah, definitely a sign. What color is your cat?
Black.
Okay.
There you go. You had him outside? Yeah, she was in here panicking. That's why.
Well, you know, women don't really care for them rodents too much.
Right.
Unless they grow up playing with them as part of their, their culture.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go ahead and wash these hands real quick. Right. Somebody. Now I'm gonna be thinking about that shit all night. Cause the other day, my bad, maybe you can't hear. Because the other day, I got another sign from Spirit. Like Hawks is one of my totems, and I see him everywhere I go. And the other day, I'm driving down the road, and a hawk swooped in front of the car with a rabbit. He didn't caught a rabbit, and he like Rob. When I tell you I had to brake because I was about to hit the hawk and the rabbit, like dead ass, I had to brake. And I'm like, okay, that's God telling me it's time to strike. It's time to do what I'm supposed to be doing. But man, these little messages be coming now. As soon as you tap in, it's like they come nonstop.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. Everything is a message, but we don't read everything as a message.
Mm-hmm. That's real. Ain't no coincidences. I see it in everything now to the point where I be feeling like paranoid. I be like, come on now, you can't think of everything. Got to be symbolism.
Well, stop telling yourself that, because that's where the paranoia comes from. If you go back to Elijah Muhammad said there's been thousands and thousands and thousands of signs. This shit is about to be a wrap. Elijah Muhammad said that back in the 60s. Right? So how many more signs has been given to us since then? So it's a lot of signs that we haven't been reading. We just been letting them go past, trying to fit into the society that was designed to oppress us.
Yep, put a cage on my mind, basically. Because once I remove that prison of a thought process, then I'm able to really tap in and allow that to become a part of my intuition. But sometimes, like I said, because I'm like, damn, that can't be a sign. Because like literally, it's like all day numbers. On top of that, it's like numbers to the point where I don't even look up the meaning of numbers anymore because I know them all by heart.
Mm-hmm. So that's when you start using numerology and gematria in real time, and that even fines tune the message. So the message becomes easier to assimilate when you understand what numbers mean. Because this is why you wear a watch. This is why you're supposed to wear a watch. We got cameras on our phone. Clocks on our phone now, because the every second of the day is a new set of numbers. Think about that. Every second of the day is a new set of numbers. And those same numbers several times a day are anagrams of one another. Those are what you call connection points. Right? So 24 hours in a day, but 12 months in a year. Right? So they say one day to the year. That means it took a whole year for it to happen. So in 12 and 24 is 36, and 3 and 6 is 9, and that's the turnaround.
Right. And 12 is 3. 24 is 6. And you add them together, then you get 9.
Yep. It got to be able to work frontwards and backwards in order for it to fit into an accurate read. Right? So the 369 is a code. It's a universal code for turning something around, or when you get to what we call 3-point convergence, that's GPS. So you need 3 points of convergence in order to get past the 2-point coincidence factor. Anything more than 2 is no longer coincidence. That means that, pay attention, this is a real sign. Right? That's how GPS need 3 points of convergence